What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 tips to be an unguardable wide receiver. So these 3 things will make you unguardable on every single route that you run. So I hope this gives you guys some value. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to know what you should do on a day-to-day schedule in the gym and on the field to help your wide receiver game improve, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate wide receiver training schedule. It's a full month-long schedule with daily gym exercises and on-field route running training. So check out that very first link below if interested, fellas. Let's get started with this video. So the first thing that you guys can do to help your route running and to be unguardable is understand something we call a tempo change. So this is a little bit on the advanced side, but I think that you guys will be able to figure it out. So this is Deontay Johnson at Steelers training camp. Gives a little tempo change, pushes up vertical, and then drops on this route. That is textbook as to what you want to do with the tempo change. So what is a tempo change? Tempo is like your speed on a route. So, maybe you've been going up against the same DB over and over again in a game. He's starting to get your speed down. Maybe this is built off of another route. But a tempo is essentially like not so much a stutter, but you pretty much just slow down. Now, what Johnson does here is he's running this like curl route, stop route. You think of it as a hitch route, like a deeper hitch. He attacks him inside, gives him a jab, and then he takes this outside release. Now, this can build off of a fade, right? If I'm running a fade route against inside shade, I want to attack him inside, then let's win the foot race outside. But we got to give him something to maybe settle, to stop his feet, especially if he's a more talented DB. And that is where that tempo change comes into play. So Johnson bursts up to the outside, and you see how he slows down. He gives this little change in speed, and then he bursts up. He's able to go from 0 to 100. Right? Now, the thing about that tempo change is so many young receivers do it incorrectly. They will do this tempo change. They'll burst off the line and they will slow down, but they'll like skip or slow down for almost like 3 to 5 yards. Here's the thing, fellas. Yes, we want to get separation from a DB. And I'm confident any wide receiver could get separation from a DB at their own level. But you got to keep timing. I could run in circles for 5 minutes and eventually get open, right? It's about timing, about spacing, but also running an efficient route to get separation. So when he does this tempo change, you see how it's just a little stop. It's a little change in tempo like he's slowing down because all we need is that DB to slow his feet down because then when I accelerate, he's going to overcommit. I go from 0 to 100. And when I burst up, he's really going to overcommit because what does he not want to get beat on? A fade route. Now, something that you could do as a wide receiver is maybe if you're backside during a game, maybe the offense is doing a run play. Let's say you're lined up on the left side and they're going toss right and the ball's going to the right. Your job is just to run this DB off. Maybe we set this up a little bit because I know a hitch is a big route or a stop route is a big route that I'm going to be running this week. So now when this DB sees it again, maybe he got beat on it. He's going to overcommit, and when he overcommits, I could drop my hips, change levels, and come back to that ball to get plenty of separation. So a tempo change, fellas. I only like a tempo change on routes like a stop route, like a comeback route, and maybe the occasional like post route versus off coverage, okay? Those are the only times that I personally like it. I'm sure you could use it on other situations, but know how to use it and make sure we are using it quickly, okay? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Deontay Johnson doing this tempo change to get that DB to stop his feet and then pushing up vertical to create separation on this route. Okay, so now next clip here, this is Adam Thielen, also a training camp clip. This, I believe, is from a couple years ago. And we got inside shade coverage, and he is going to be running a 10-yard dig. So he's way inside. He's like 2 to 3 yards off and maybe like a yard or 2 inside shade. Now I have to run a dig route. Now, the common mistake, this is why a lot of wide receivers get locked up when they're one-on-one. This is how you can be unguardable, fellas, is you got to get comfortable taking what release the DB gives you. So what do I mean by that? I mean, when this DB is lined up inside shade like so, I can't force the inside release because I am probably not going to get the inside release against a talented DB. Fellas, I'm not trying to get you ready for a DB who's crappy, who is not talented, who's not disciplined. I want you to get ready for a DB who knows what he is doing. And so when he's lined up inside shade, he will not give up the inside. That's the whole purpose of him being inside, is to stop the slant, to stop the dig. So how do I do this? You have to take what he gives you. So let's play this full speed. So Thielen attacks his leverage, takes the outside release, gives a rocker step, and then is able to win on that dig route. Now again, tight coverage. That's why it's so important to finish the play, right? But again, we kept spacing on the play. That's why it's important to take what the DB gives you, but also so you maintain timing with the quarterback. So what a lot of guys would try to do in this case is they would try to, okay, I'm going to square up this DB, give him a fake outside, and then run in front of him and then run my dig. But here's the thing. Let's say Thielen is lined up right here in the slot, and let's say he's got this dig route. Let's say there's a slot wide receiver on this side of the play who's running a drag. If you force, and the DB's right here, if you force the inside release and he gets hands on you and reroutes you, you're going to run right into that drag route. You have to maintain the spacing of the play to set up reads, to make sure that the quarterback knows you're at the spot you need to be at. So that's the whole point of this. So he comes off the line, he does something we call a dive release, where he takes 2 hard steps to the inside. He threatens the DB's leverage. He threatens where he is supposed to not let you go, which is the inside. Every defensive coach on that field is telling him, don't give up the inside. So if we threaten him where he's taught not to give up, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to move, and that gives me the free release to the outside. Now, some of you might say, well, coach, what if I'm not able to restack? What if I can't get to this position that Thielen's at? What if this DB's right here, like a step ahead of where he is? You have to react. You would have to throw him by. Now, I know what I'm saying is a lot of information, but I want to make sure you guys understand it. We can't think about this during an actual route. It's got to be a reflex. It's got to be so engraved in your head that you don't even have to think about it. But your separation comes at the top of the route. You're able to restack, that should be an instinct. I give him a little head fake, a little hip shift outside, that gets him to bite, and I could win. He's right here on my hip. He's right here on my hip. He's running with me. I could throw by. I take my right hand and I put it on his shoulder. I put it on his hip and I slip under. But I got to have that plan at the top of the route, and I cannot sacrifice spacing because I want to be comfortable and run the inside release on an inside route. You should be able to get open on any single route with an inside release or an outside release. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Then we'll get to some hand technique tips that you guys can use against press coverage. So he comes off the ball, attacks the leverage, love it, and then uses that rocker step at the top to win. And again, it's going to be tight coverage. We're in the goal line, but we have to make sure that I finish the play. All right, so this is going to be a clip here. It's from Davante Adams, and he is working this kind of like hezzy skip release with a crossover. Now, to be an unguardable receiver, we talk a lot about the feet. We talk a lot about selling routes, selling vertical, selling fade, but we don't talk enough about what you should do with your hands to get you off of press. Because the whole goal of a DB in press coverage is to get hands on you so he can disrupt timing with the quarterback. But if I can set him up with my feet and be efficient with my hands and avoid that hand contact, I should be able to get open easier and I keep timing easier. So let's play this full speed. So Adams comes at him, gets a little crossover, sheds the handoff, and then he's able to run this slant. Now, let's talk about this. When he comes off the ball here, you got to know, if I am going to do an inside release on a route, like let's say the DB lines up and he's maybe shaded to the outside, right? Like we just talked about it. Let's say DB is shaded outside. That means he's trying to prevent the outside route. We're running an inside breaking route. So I know to get off of a jam, I don't need to worry about his left arm. If he's lined up outside shade and I'm taking an inside release, I just need to worry about this arm. I just need to beat that inside arm, because so what if he gets hands on me with his left? I've already gotten off the press and I'm already up into the route, keeping my timing with my quarterback. Now, let's say he's lined up inside shade. What hand do you got to worry about if you're taking an outside release? His left hand. You'd have to worry about his left hand. So keep it simple when it comes to hand technique off the line, fellas. So that's what Adams does. He wants to take that inside release. So he attacks this DB. He gives him that move to the outside, that little crossover fake. He's setting him up with his feet, stepping and threading outside his frame, head and shoulder fake, closing the distance, making this guy uncomfortable. So when he shoots that hand, it's easy work. All I got to do is just shrug under, rip the hand off. He doesn't even swat with his left hand. He just rips under with his right hand. Get the hands off, and now you see hips lock out, no hands on him. That is easy separation. If that's a fade, he's gone. If that's a slant, he's gone. If that's anything, he is gone, because that DB locked out his hips because we moved him off the platform with my feet, because I knew how to attack his leverage. I knew how to set up in a release, and I got his hands off of me. That is textbook right there from Davante Adams, and that is exactly how you want to use your hand technique off the line. Now, do you have to rip under like he did? No. You could swat with the left hand and rip over with the right, or rip under. You could chop down with the right hand. You don't have to rip under him. You could just chop down with the right hand. I like the rip personally that Adams does right here, but there are many ways to do it. Just know which arm to beat So we keep things simple. Set him up with your feet, make him pay with your hands. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Adams using this kind of hezzy crossover release and getting those hands off with that DB. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. If you guys like these style of videos, we're always looking for new ideas because we'll make anything that you guys want to see. And again, fellas, if you would like an ultimate wide receiver 4-week training schedule, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.